A very warm welcome to all the seekers on this YouTube channel and Zoom this evening. As you know, we have been running this program online for past more than 1 year now, since the last lockdown started. What we are trying to do is reach out to seekers who are trying to understand more about themselves and Sahaja Yoga on this online channel that we have started now. And we are trying to do as many sessions as we can so that it's comfortable for all of us, whatever time suits. So one in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening, which is this one at 7:45. Only on Saturdays, we started a session in English for those of us who cannot understand Hindi so well. So, and apart from this, what we are doing is that once you understand Sahaja Yoga well, you get established and you get vibrations, you started understanding the chakras and all of that, then you can come and join us in a deeper meditation session, which happens at 5:30 every evening. So now what we are trying to do every day here is that we just understand what Sahaja Yoga is. We talk about Sahaja Yoga, how it helps us, what happens when we get a realization, what is self-realization. Then we also try to understand about our internal subtle system, that is the Kundalini and the chakras inside us. We try to understand a bit about that. And then we go for a meditation session. So that is how we kind of plan to do the next hour or so. At the end of this session, you may ask any questions that you may have, because that is important that you present any queries or questions that we could possibly help you out with at this stage. So we spend some time there as well. So yeah, let's start. So Sahaja Yoga, as the name suggests, is yoga means union. Sahaj means something that happens spontaneously, is simple. So the union with what is the union with the divine, the ultimate. That is what is supposed to happen, and it's supposed to happen spontaneously on its own in a very simple manner. There's absolutely nothing that we can do to get our yoga. It's supposed to come and by someone who can give it to us, and it's supposed to happen spontaneously. So that is why the name Sahaja Yoga. Otherwise, it's just the yoga. The real meaning of the word is getting that connection with the divine. So it's important to understand how we can get that connection. So we have been in our seeking, we have been pursuing so many things, and we have been trying to connect with God, maybe through meditation, maybe through the rituals that we have been doing, anything. So, for example, now we have started understanding yoga as doing physical exercises, which is the asanas. So, which is not really yoga. So there are so many things. So, for example, we think that doing some mantras can get us to God, or doing any kind of tap, any kind of ritual can take us to God. So all these things, they have been defined in our scriptures by sages and all of them in various steps, so to say. So for example, Patanjali, who was the original, he was the one who established yoga, so to say, the principle of yoga. In his book, he's described the 8 stages, Ashtang Yoga, 8 parts of yoga. One of them, so it starts like yam, niyam, that is you follow some niyam, means some protocols, some things that you should do. You should come in lifestyle that is good, and all of that, pratyahar, and so things around food. You should keep everything about you. You should, in a very balanced manner, you should lead a life that is so cleansing. So all of those steps are there. One of them is the what we call as the asanas. So that is one of them. So there are such things that have been described before, but the last one, the end result is the union with the divine. That is supposed to happen. That is the true yoga. That is, so all of that we do is a preparation towards that. So to understand from another perspective, our lives are the goal of our lives. So as a kid, sometimes I asked my mom, what's the purpose? Why are we here? Is it to study? Is it to get good marks? Then to marry or have a life job and this that, and then everybody's doing it. It's going on for ages. Billions of people are doing the same thing over and over. There has to be something higher that has to come to us. That takes us to something higher. So, for example, we have come to a human stage of awareness, of consciousness. We have certain understandings that, let's say, animals don't have. So we are an evolved being, and we can do so much with science, with our hands. We've created so much knowledge that we have discovered and invented so much. And still we are a very sad people. In many places, we have so many things that are going wrong, that are not the right way that people should be behaving, or we know so many bad things are happening in the world. I mean, each of us knows so much. So there has to be something higher than this, definitely. God, if he's all knowing, if he's all powerful, if he's the one who understands and knows everything absolutely, then in his all wisdom, he would have created something that would take us higher on a collective level. If, let's say, out of the billions of people that there are in the world right now, one or two of us get to God, will the whole society change? No, absolutely not. And that is what has happened in the past, that one or two saints here and there, they have come on this earth. They've tried to explain in their own words. Sometimes they would write poems, sometimes they would give sermons, sometimes they would try any which way possible to explain to humanity maybe how they should lead their lives, maybe how they should get to God. But it has been words, it has been all words. It has not really materialized for the people. And it has not been a collective thing that has happened to you. And they have tried. Kavira has said, "Sab jag andha kise samjhao." The whole world is blind. Whom should I explain it to? So it has been a difficult thing. And one or two people here and there, they have discovered what divine is, what are we supposed to expect when we get a realization. All those things they have talked about. But it has been really an effort in blindness for most of us. And that is why Shree Mataji says that now is the time when amas, everybody has to get it. That is how the world can potentially be better, be saved, and come to a position where we can say that, yes, there is divine. For now, I mean, most of us, my generation is still okay. I think the next generation, it is possible that they would say there is no God. There is so much bad that is happening out there. And what is happening in the name of God also, we have seen so many wrong things happening in all religions, every religion. So all the people who had started these religions were true incarnations and true gurus and masters. But to once they taught, they didn't get the realization. So they couldn't see the point. And they got all stuck in rituals and conditionings about the religions. So the religions are in the questions. Then came the gurus and the so-called gurus. A lot of fraud came there. And now that is being questioned. Should we even look at spirituality and God? So there are so many things like that which are going wrong. And it's really a world of a mire, really, where we don't know what's real, what's not. How do we judge if somebody who's talking like a saint is really a saint? He might have come from the jail and just took a bhagwa vastra and might come in front of us and start talking big things, and we would all be befooled by that. And or they might be doing things like mesmerism, hypnotism. So many wrong things have come up in the name of God. So it's a difficult world. It's a confusing world for a lot of people. And unless we all get the divine, the self-realization, we cannot come to the conclusion that there is divine. We cannot get our connection to the divine and resolve all these issues that are surrounding us. There are so many issues that humanity is facing, that we as individuals are facing in our family lives, in our physical problems, in everything around us. So there's so many issues that we think need resolving. A lot of us come to Sahaja Yoga because of even physical illnesses, which get better when you get a self-realization. So getting your self-realization, getting your connection to the divine really gives you complete benevolence. Things improve around you, and slowly and gradually the problems fade away. Every kind of problem slowly fades away. Now it's Sahaja Yoga has been there in the world now for 50 years. Shree Mataji started in 1970 when she gave realization to one woman, and it was a difficult time in those days. And then Shree Mataji also traveled a lot because of her husband, who was UN representative for the International Maritime Organization, and that's how she could travel and teach Sahaja Yoga to so many people across the world. And now Sahaja Yoga is being practiced across 150 nations, across religions, races, everything. So there is no foundation on you being an educated person, you being from this religion, that religion. It's for everybody, from a small child to an elderly person. Everybody can do it. In fact, small children can do it much better. They are the cleanest and most innocent ones, and they get the realization very quickly. So there is a lot to talk about Sahaja Yoga and why we need to do Sahaja Yoga, but the main point here is to get a realization, and that happens by the grace of Shree Mataji. So what we'll do quickly is just have a look at our internal subtle system. We'll talk briefly about what all chakras are there and what are all the qualities that we get from these chakras, and then we'll go for a meditation session. So now you'll be seeing a chart coming in front of you on the screen. Siddhi, if you can put up the chart. So meanwhile that comes in, what happens is that when we are in our mother's womb, at that point, after 2.5 months or so, God's grace, you can call it, His power, His energy enters into our being from our fontanelle bone area, from the top of our head. And it forms these various chakras and these channels inside us. And what happens is that these chakras and these channels are what guide us in, actually they control every aspect of our life. There's a physical being, that is me. There is an emotional being. There's a mental being. There's a spiritual being. So everything about me that is on the outside also is actually controlled by these chakras on the subtle. What happens is that after creating all of these chakras and nadis, the power of God, his power of love, we can say, it comes down and it settles down in our spine. At the bottom there is a triangular bone. That bone is called as sacrum bone. So I think Greeks named it sacrum, so they knew something was sacred about it. The energy comes down there and it forms coils, that is kundals in Sanskrit. Thus the name Kundalini. It forms 3.5 coils, 7 chakras and 3.5 coils. There is some maths to that, and it goes into a slumber. So it's called as Supta Shakti, the power that is sleeping. Slowly, so we say that in our Indian culture, we say that children are, they are the form of God because they're connected to God in a way, because this fontanelle bone area is still open for them, that it kind of does a heart kind of a pulsation there, a lubbed up. So as children grow, gradually it calcifies. There's a lot of ego and all of these things come up. This is mine, this is mine. All of that happens to all of us, and slowly and gradually that connection, it gets cut off. So awakening this Kundalini and making it pierce through our fontanelle bone is what is self-realization. When it pierces at the fontanelle bone again, the Brahmarandra, that is when we get connected to the divine and we get our Atma Sakshatkar. This is what is that the sages of old, we hear stories where they have been doing tapasya for hundreds of years and all of that. This is what they have been trying to do. So their tapasya involves a lot of cleansing first in every aspect, every aspect of our existence. First cleansing of these chakras and everything, and then they go to realization. That also happened for some it didn't happen. So what Shree Mataji has said, that she's done it the other way for us. First, she gives us the light, and then we can see what all is wrong in that light, and we can clear it out. For example, there is a lamp. We are rubbing it, we are cleaning it, and there is no light till now. So we don't know what all is there. So we go on cleaning it and this and that. But once there is light, then we can easily see what all is wrong and we can quickly work on that. So that is what happens once your Kundalini rises. We feel all these chakras on our fingertips, on our nervous system, because the nervous system is what is controlled on the growth by these chakras, and they are represented on our fingertips, as we know, on our feet and our fingertips. So we feel these chakras. You can see the numbering is done here for each chakra. When we feel that chakra on our hand in meditation, there are ways and methods to clear out those chakras. Slowly and gradually, the problems, the issues that we face in our lives, whatever issues, they also fade away because they're all related to this chakra. So there are various aspects that each chakra handles inside us. It could be emotional, physical, mental, familial, even money-wise. What all things that we can think of, all of them are governed by one of these chakras and nadis. So once that gets cleared out, all of these issues also get cleared out. And then we become powerful enough to give realization to others. So this is the blessing of Sahaja Yoga and Shree Mataji. What we'll do is just quickly look at the three nadis inside it and then go to the chakras. So the three channels that govern us are called as Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. They have been, we might have heard the reference somewhere. Again, Kabira has said Ida, Pingla, Sukhman Nadi in one of his dohas. So what do they represent essentially? So for example, the left channel that we have, the Ida Nadi, that is shown here as the blue one, is called as the moon channel. It controls our left sympathetic nervous system on the gross. This Nadi is responsible for all our desires. So all our desires come from this Nadi. All our emotions are also coming from this Nadi. And if we are somebody who's too emotional, then we are using this channel too much. If we are someone who's all the time in the past, so this Nadi is also governing our past completely. So if we are all the time thinking of the past, we are very depressed, we are very emotional, we go too much on this channel, and such people can develop diseases which are psychosomatic, incurable, that we call in medical terms. And so we go to any extreme in our life, there is a repercussion to that. So going too much on the left channel has these kind of issues that come up. Obviously, in meditation, when we sit, we open our hands and we feel the status of our left channel on our left palm. We get vibrations, which we'll talk about in a bit. And similarly, on the right-hand side, we have the Pingla Nadi, the yellow one. It controls our right sympathetic nervous system. This Nadi is responsible for all of our action. So we are just desires and action. That is what we are essentially all the time. That is what is governing us. So all our actions, meaning it could be physical. Actions are more mental these days. We are not doing so much physical work. But every thought, every planning, every work, office work, this, that, whatever we are doing is actually governed by the right channel, the Pingla Nadi. And if we are too aggressive on others, we are thinking too much of the future. So the left was the past, right is the future. We are very futuristic, very ambitious, very aggressive on others. So the people on the left channel are aggressing themselves. They always blame themselves that I am no good. Oh, I am so bad. Whereas people on the right, they aggress over others. Oh, you are no good. I am better. So ego also develops from this Nadi. So both are wrong, and we should not go too much on either side. Of course, we need to use both these channels in our lives, to get our work done, and we are using them. So whenever we use any which one of them too much, its power gets reduced. There's no way for us to really replenish that power. Whereas when Kundalini rises, it gets us connected to the divine, and the divine's power starts flowing through all our channels, and we get in a balance. What happens is that these two nadis, between them is the Sushumna Nadi, the channel of the center. So that is the path for Kundalini to rise, and it controls the parasympathetic nervous system. So, for example, Buddha has, one of his major teachings has been around being in balance. If we are someone who's led a balanced life, a very normal, balanced life, so you can easily get realization, Shree Mataji says. You don't have to be someone who's done too much tapasya, too much reading books, and all those kind of things actually lead you too much on the right, actually, if you think about it. You've done too much hatha yoga and all of that. There are some imbalance that we develop, whereas living in a normal household, we can lead a very balanced normal life. Such people get their realization very quickly and easily. So this is the path for Kundalini, and we'll quickly move on to the chakras now, and we'll also look at the positions of these chakras on our palms. So the first one that we see is the Muladhara Chakra, the red one at the very bottom. And we can feel this chakra on where number 1 is written on the palms, you can see, where our hands meet our palms, essentially. This chakra is governed by Sri Ganesh. So in all our pujas, the first one we worship is Sri Ganesh, because the Devi, Gauri Mata, she created Sri Ganesha as the first deity. And he's the giver of innocence and wisdom. He is he is the eternal child, and we know that children are so innocent, they are pure, and that is what he represents. If we go against the innocence or purity or anything that any qualities that we can associate with Sri Ganesha, then this chakra goes off. So for example, people who are going in a wrong direction in sexuality, then this chakra goes wrong. People who are always very cunning and conniving and always hurting others, and those kind of people who are not really innocent, we cannot call them abodh. So those people are going against Muladhara Chakra. And we can understand the organs that are all excretion organs are governed by this chakra, and such people develop issues, maybe physical or maybe psychosomatic issues as well if this chakra goes off. Yeah. So the qualities that we talked about when this chakra gets better, I mean, children, they really develop so much wisdom. You don't have to tell them, don't do this, don't do that. They know themselves. They become truly wise on their own. It's a great quality. It's the first quality of the first chakra. It's really Sri Ganesha's blessings that come to us once this chakra is fully enlightened. After this comes the Swadhisthana Chakra, that's the yellow one. And we can see that this chakra is where the right channel starts. The left starts from the Muladhara Chakra, the right starts from the Swadhisthana Chakra. And the deities here are Brahmadev, Saraswati. We can feel this chakra on both of our thumbs. Now, we know that Brahmadev, Saraswati, we call them as the creator of the universe. So the main quality of this chakra that we get is creativity. True creativity in terms of all art. And we know Saraswati, she's also giver of Vidya. So we develop all kinds of the pure, the Shuddha Vidya. That is one of the qualities of this chakra. Also, we can understand that this chakra, as it's governing the right channel, it starts from here. So all our mental activity actually happens from this chakra. This chakra is responsible for providing the fat cells and converting them into gray cells for our brain to think. So all our mental activity happens from this chakra. This chakra is also governing our pancreas, our liver, and so many organs in this region. So what happens is that if you're somebody who's thinking and planning too much, then this chakra has to provide energy for that and the other things that it has to govern, like our liver and our pancreas, they go off. So usually people who are too much always thinking about the future, planning this, that, they get diabetes, or who are taking too much stress from work and all, they get liver troubles. So these are some of the aspects that govern a chakra, for example. Also, people who have gone to some wrong gurus, done some tantric activities, they get on the left side, this chakra goes off very badly. So as I mentioned, the qualities. So in Sahaja Yoga, we have seen people really burst out with very good creative qualities once they get their realization. And this is a great boon that comes to us by the grace of Brahmadev Saraswati when this chakra is enlightened. The third chakra here is the Nabhi chakra, which is the green one. And that is governed by Sri Lakshmi Narayan. You can feel this chakra on the longest fingers, the middle fingers. And this chakra is, the great qualities here are of generosity and being a true Lakshmipati. When we say Lakshmipati, we only think of somebody who's very rich. But the real description of somebody who is a real Lakshmipati is somebody who's very generous to others, a gracious host, somebody who helps out others, who is himself he's looked after by Lakshmi. All the blessings of Lakshmi are upon him. And he also is acting like Lakshmi towards others and helping others. So all those qualities come to us. The 10 Lakshmis that we know, all of their qualities shower upon us. And a complete benevolence is taken care of for us in all aspects of life, whether it be family, whether it be job, money, every aspect of our life. One great quality about this chakra, and that's mentioned here, is evolution. So we know that Sri Vishnu, he comes in different avatars, and he is the one who drives our evolution. So he came first as a fish, then as a tortoise, then a nursing avatar, and so many avatars he's taken now as the last one that we know of, Sri Krishna with all his colors. So he's the one who's driving evolution for human beings. Also, this chakra is responsible for our seeking. We start seeking from this chakra. So what does that mean? As animals, we are seeking food. Maybe later we were seeking shelter. As human beings, we started seeking other things like family, like power, like money, and all of that seeking comes to us because of the chakra. Finally, that seeking converts into our seeking for God. So this is the chakra that brings us into that seeking mode where we start looking for God. Around this is the void, the Bhavsagara, and this is the place of our master, the Guru principle inside us. So there have been many incarnations of the primordial master, the Adi Guru Dattatreya, and 10 of them are the major ones that are represented here, like Muhammad Sahib, Guru Nanak, Shirdi Sainath, Lao Tse, Janak, Sokrat, Zoroaster, and so many like them. All of them have at different times tried to establish the true religion inside us. And that is not Hindu, Muslim, Christianity, etc. These are religions that this is a religion that is inside, that is innate. And for us to really know that there is a human religion inside us that tells us this is wrong, this is right. So that religion is inside our stomach. If we see something very wrong happening in front of us, we end up puking. So why does that happen? Because our religion inside, it tells us, the dharma tells us that this is something very wrong. So this is the place of the master, and he has established the religion inside us in Bhavsagar. After this, so we can feel this on around the very center of our palm. The void we can feel around the very center of our palm. After this comes the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. And this chakra is responsible for a lot of things. There are 3 major sections for this chakra. On the center is the place for the mother of the universe, the Jagadamba. And she is the one who's protecting us from all the evil in the world. And she's the one who brings her bhaktas across the Bhavsagara and takes them, protects them from all evil. So our sense of security and confidence that she's looking after us comes from this chakra. All our Antibodies also get developed here till the age of 12. Children who are very afraid and who are all the time afraid, they are the ones who get sick very often. Women who have some kind of insecurities from their families, husbands, this, that, they develop diseases like breast cancer because of this. So there are various aspects that get entangled when we talk about the chakra, but touching upon them briefly. On the right hand side is the place of Sri Ram Sita here. And we know that they have been the Maryada Purushottam. They have taught us how to lead a life properly in every way, how to be a good father, son, brother, king, everything he has established for us. So when we go against that, the right heart chakra goes off. Whereas on the left hand side is the place of the spirit inside us, the Atma. And this is also the place of Sri Shiv Parvati inside us. Atma is nothing but the reflection of the Paramatma, the Almighty. So in every one of us, the reflection of the Almighty resides, only that it's right now, it's not in our consciousness, not in our chitta. When the Kundalini rises, the light of the spirit comes into our chitta. And we are truly, then we say the Atma Sakshatkar has happened, because then, until then, the Atma is not governing us. We are governed by our so many things, our ego, our identity, whatever we think about us. So this is the place for Atma, and we know this is also the chakra for love and compassion, when we really know everybody is truly Atma. And that knowledge comes from within, not outside, not just telling you mentally that we are all one. So all of that develops here for us. We can feel this chakra on the smallest fingers that we have on both our hands, left and right part. After this comes the chakra of Vishuddhi, which is governed by Sri Radha Krishna. This chakra has many qualities to talk about. First, we'll see the index fingers are what are representing the Vishuddhi chakra for us. And qualities like the witness state, to be able to look at the world like a Leela, that really comes from this chakra. The qualities like collectivity, to be one with everyone. Sri Krishna was the Virata, and we are all part of that Virata. So we truly become that, we get that innate understanding, and we truly become collective when this chakra enlightens. This chakra has many, many very deep qualities to talk about. What we'll do is just briefly touch upon some of them that hamper this chakra, the things that hamper. So for example, on the left hand side, if we always are feeling guilty and we say, oh, I'm not good, I'm very bad, then this chakra on the left hand side goes off. When that happens, you do not feel the vibrations on your hands in meditation, because we know that the hands, they actually start from the Vishuddhi chakra. So it's very important in meditation, we pray that, Mother, I'm not guilty at all. We let Mother be the judge, the Kundalini be the judge. She has been with us for ages together, and she knows all about us. So we let her be the judge and don't judge ourselves. Whereas on the right hand side, this chakra goes off for people who are all the time shouting at others and abusing others and being very aggressive with words towards others. So such people, boastful people, talking too much, too loudly, this chakra goes off. Also smoking and tobacco really hurts this chakra a lot. So briefly, that is about the Vishuddhi chakra. And we can imagine that every chakra is governed by the deities. So for example, Sri Radha Krishna, we know how sweet his whole personality has been described as. When we go against that, we go against this chakra, against sweetness that he is described so well. So he was the king of diplomacy, so to say. So those qualities come from this chakra in us when this gets enlightened. So there are various aspects around each chakra. Very quickly, we'll move on to Agya chakra. And this chakra is actually the most difficult one for a lot of us, because here the incarnations of Jesus Christ, Mahavira, and Gautam Buddha reside. All of them have talked about forgiveness. All their lives, all their miracles, and so many things are around forgiving others. So this is where in meditation we pray that we forgive everyone, and we really have to do that. Otherwise, it's a very small space for Kundalini to rise. Why is that a small space? Because you can see there are two balloon-like things on our heads, called as ego and superego. So whatever actions we do, whatever ambitions, whatever accomplishments for us, we start developing an ego inside us. And that gets formed on the left hand side. It starts from the right, and on our head there's a crossover on the optic chiasma, and it gets developed on the left hand side. Similarly, all that we learn in our lives, all the conditionings, and all the reactions to ego are actually superego. So all of that gets developed on the right hand side on the brain, and one of these two is always heavy on the other. Because we are either too much on the left or too much on the right, we have always developed one of these more than the other, and the way for Kundalini to pass through gets completely shrouded by one of these entities inside us. What happens is that when we forgive and Kundalini crosses over the Agya Chakra, it sucks out both our ego and superego. So in a way, it sucks out all our karmas. So we understand in Hindu religion that we have to face our karmas, and there's no getting out of it. That is the getting out of it. If Kundalini rises through the Agya Chakra, it sucks out your ego and superego. The way opens for it to pass over from the last chakra, that is the Sahasrara Chakra. We can feel Agya Chakra on both the ring fingers of our hands. So the last chakra here, which is shown as a big lotus kind of a thing on the top of our head, is called as the Sahasrara Chakra. We'll move on to that. So this is called as the door to heaven. It's called as the Brahmarandra, which literally means the whole of the divine. It's called as the Dasham Dwar, the 10th door. So many things. And Kabira has said, Shunya Shikhar par Anhat Baje. That means there is a, Anhat means the heart kind of pulsation on the silent peak. So this is that silent peak. So many ways this has been described. And this is the chakra that really is integrating all the chakras inside us. So all of them have a place on our head. And this is the chakra that gives us our realization, our true integration with the divine, and our true integration inside. And till now, we are all the time fighting inside. We are not one personality. Once this breakthrough happens, our spirit guides us, and there is complete concord, because we are guided by the divine. The divine starts flowing through us. So this is the theory part of it. There's a lot to discuss, and as and when you grow into Sahaja Yoga, you'll learn from Shree Mataji's talks. There is so much knowledge to be shared about each of them, and really we start seeing from life experiences from people around us how true it really is for each chakra inside us. What we'll do now is we'll go for the meditation session. Briefly, we'll just see how to do meditation, and then we will go for it. So there are some steps which will be coming on the screen now in front of you. So what we do in Sahaja Yoga is we try to balance ourselves out. We saw how balance is so important for Kundalini to rise, and it's important for anything to rise in life. So in Sahaja Yoga, we use the 5 elements that have created us: the earth, water, fire, air, sky, ether, whatever you want to call it. And we use these elements to balance ourselves out, to cleanse ourselves. So we'll do some of that now. And the first step that you see is you keep both your hands in your lap open, and then keep the left hand open in your lap and the right palm on the Mother Earth. We will do all of this with our eyes closed later, and we'll have some prayers here. The next step is we bring back the right hand into our lap and keep it open, while the left hand is folded towards the sky from our elbow. Again, this is for balancing us and We'll have some prayers with our eyes closed. In the third step, we'll put both our hands on the Mother Earth. Now we'll bring both our hands back into our lap. All the next steps that we do will be from our right hand, which is our hand of action. So we'll put our right hand on the heart. This is the place of spirit inside us. We will have some prayers here. After this, we bring this hand on our forehead and press it like we would when we'd have a headache. From both the sides, we press. After this, this hand goes to the back of the head and we push back our head up towards the sky. In the last step, we will put our hand on top of the Sahasrara, the fontanel bone. We have to pull back our fingers and just press from the center of the palm on the fontanel bone area and move the scalp with our palm in a clockwise direction. So we'll move the scalp with the palm in a clockwise direction. We will have some prayers in all of these steps. So this is it. Now Shree Mataji's photo would be coming on the screen. So we can, I think we can all understand that just doing some steps and prayers cannot give us realization. As Ramadas Swami has said that there needs to be someone who can give it and there needs to be someone who can take it. Self-realization can happen tat kshan, as in that very moment. So all we have to do is just be humble about it and pray to Shree Mataji. She's the one who can give it. Shree Mataji's photograph is very special. It emits those vibrations that can give us our self-realization. Our Kundalini recognizes her as an authority who can do it. So we have to be very humble about it and we have to pray to Shree Mataji. We will just keep both our hands open in our lap. Look at her photograph and pray. Say, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization, Mother. We'll just close our eyes now and try to bring our attention inside. Just look at your attention inside and see what's happening. Now we'll do the steps that we had just seen. We'll put our left hand in our lap and the right hand on the Mother Earth. We have to pray, Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. We can pay attention to both our palms and see what is happening. We'll bring back our right hand into our lap and put the left hand towards the sky. Here we have to pray, Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities, imbalances of my right channel through the sky element, ether element. I'll bring both her hands and place them on the Mother Earth. Here we have to ask for balance. Mother, please bring us into complete balance. Mother, please take out all the imbalances and impurities of my left and right channels through the Mother Earth and bring me into the present, into the balanced state. You can bring our hands back into our lap. Now we'll keep our left hand as it is in the lap and do the next steps with the right hand. We'll place the right hand on our heart. Now, as we had seen, this is the place for spirit, the Atma inside us. We are not governed by the Atma right now, and it has been shrouded by so many things: the mind, the ego, the intellect, so many things that govern us, our complete identity. So here we have to say, we have to state a fact that Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. I'm not this body, not this mind, this ego, these conditionings, this identity, nothing, Mother. I am just the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as we are the pure spirit, we are not guilty of anything. Just leave all the guilt feeling and put it at Mother's feet. And say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, as I am the pure spirit, I am not guilty at all. This is very important for us to get our realization and let the Kundalini be the judge. Just leave it and say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this hand on our forehead and press it like we would when we would have a headache. And we press it from both the ends. Here we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. We don't have to think about anyone. We just say, Mother, I forgive everyone. And truly, we just forgive. Once we forgive, God takes over. And He takes care of things for us. When we are not forgiving, we are unnecessarily tormenting ourselves. So we have to forgive everyone, including ourselves. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now we bring this hand to the back of the head and push back our head a bit. Here we have to say that, Mother, if knowingly or unknowingly we've committed any sin against the Almighty God, then please forgive us. Oh God, if we have committed any sins, knowingly or unknowingly, against you, please forgive us. He is the ocean of forgiveness. Now we can bring this hand back into our lap for a bit if it's a bit tired. And now the last step, we have to take the hand, right hand, push back the fingers and place the very center of the palm on the top of our head and press it a bit. Now move the scalp with our palm in a clockwise direction slowly. Now here we have to say the most important thing. Shree Mataji also says that she cannot go against our freedom. So we have to be the ones who ask for it. With all humility and sincerity, we have to ask for it. That Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my union with the divine. With all sincerity and heart, we have to ask her, Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. We're asking for the very highest thing in the world. Mother, please give me the highest of the highest. Mother, please give me my self-realization. You can stop moving the hand and bring it back into our lap. Just put our attention where the hand was and sit in meditation for half a minute. We'll bring our attention to both of our palms, the very center of our palms, and see if there is a cool or a hot breeze there. We can also bring our attention to our fingertips. There might be some tingling sensation on some fingers, or some heaviness or heat or cool sensation on some fingers. That is our state of chakras right now. Now we'll again bring our right hand on the top of the head and keep it above the head 2 to 3 inches. And just see here if there is a cool or a hot breeze coming out of the head from a particular place. You can move the hand about left, right, and see that there is a particular place from where this breeze is coming. Bring the hand back into a lap and try the same with the left hand. Bring the hand on the top of her head and move it above the head 2 to 3 inches and see if there is a cool or a hot breeze coming out of our heads and hitting the palm. Bring the hand back into your laps. Now we'll put both our hands towards the sky, completely up, the palms facing the sky, and push back our heads. Here we have to ask a fundamental question again. God, is this the power that is running the whole world? Is this your power of love? Is this Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine power? You can ask any one of these questions thrice. And answer the vibrations on your hands, the sensations will improve. Bring the hand back into your lap and just sit while keeping your Attention on the top of the head. Sit in meditation for 1 minute. And slowly open our eyes. Look at Shree Mataji's photo. See that there are no thoughts, and that we can continue looking at her photo and be in meditation. This is the first state that we get after realization of thoughtless awareness. Nirvicharche. We bring both our hands in a namaskara to Shree Mataji and thank her for giving us the state of thoughtless awareness and these vibrations, this beautiful meditation. Jai Shree Mataji. Now, what we need to do is establish this experience with daily meditation in the morning and in the evening for just 5-10 minutes. As is often described by Shree Mataji, that this is just the germination, just the sprout coming out. It has to become a tree. So I would request you to continue meditating for some time, if it suits you, on this channel, so that the experience gets established. Also, if you have any questions, you may ask. Mike, if you could just help everyone out with the details about how they can join us, etc. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. If any of you have any doubts or any questions, you can ask them on the YouTube live chat, or you can join the Zoom meeting and talk to us directly. We have shared the link to our Zoom meeting in the chat. You can also share your experience or how you felt on your hands or on your Sahasrara. We have also shared the link to our WhatsApp group. You can join this group by clicking on the link. In this group, we keep sharing lectures of Shree Mataji, our daily self-realization session links, and also some tutorials to help you better understand how to do foot soak, bandhan, and how to continue with Sahaja Yoga. We conduct daily self-realization session on this same channel and same Zoom meeting. Every day, these are conducted in Hindi. Only on Saturdays, we conduct this program in English. So you can watch these sessions anytime, or you can join them live. And if you have any questions, you can ask them in the live sessions. So every day first session is in the morning at 8 a.m., then 4:15 p.m. in the afternoon, and then this evening session at 7:45. Also, we conduct a deep meditation session every day at 5:30, so you can join that too. There is a special announcement tomorrow on Sunday at 8 p.m. We'll be premiering the Grah Lakshmi movie on our YouTube channel. So this is a movie based on Sahaja Yoga and directed by Sanjay Talwar ji, who has been on our channel, and he has shared many of his experiences while he traveled with Shree Mataji. So he has written many bhajans, and those bhajans are in the movie also. So you can watch it live tomorrow on the same YouTube channel. I'm also sharing the link to that video in the link. It will be only shown live. You won't be able to watch it afterwards. So do make sure that you tomorrow at 8 p.m. you can watch it. Jai Shri Mataji. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. If any of you have any questions, please do write in the chat box, live chat, and we'll try to answer them here. Or you can join Zoom also to talk with us. Jai Shri Mataji. So there are no questions on YouTube. We would like to announce again that if you have any questions, you can ask any day. We conduct these self-realization session for new seekers every day. So you can join any of those 3 sessions and ask your questions. Or you can also watch these sessions anytime on YouTube if these timings are not suitable for you. We'll close today's session by thanking Shree Mataji for this wonderful joy and blessings that she has given us. Jai Shri Mataji, everyone.
Jai Shri Mataji.